Hi everyone, this is Maria, and today we're going to be talking about how to master client complaints in the pet industry and how to avoid negative reviews or catch them early to prevent them from happening. And let's just start with something that might seem really obvious, but many pet business owners overlooked. And it's the power of a bad review. Nowadays, not only in the pet industry, but all industries are affected for client negative reviews. And this is because now in this era with everyone having cell phones 24/7, they are just a Google search away to get a pet provider for their dogs. And now, when they actually see the reviews and see that the service didn't go well, they are going to think twice before bringing their beloved pet to your store. So that's why we need to discuss how to catch customers' complaints early and respond in a way that builds trust and loyalty within your pet parents. Now let's start. Why complaints matter, and they matter more than you think. 89% customers switch after a poor experience. If they got their dog treated in a poor way, if they didn't get the service that they wanted, they are going to switch to the competition. And most of them, this is really curious, most of them are not going to say a single word. They are not going to call you to let you know what your business needs to do better. They are going to go straight to Google and leave a bad review that is going to potentially damage your business reputation, and it's going to scare potential customers and make them think twice before bringing their pets to the store, to your store, or to your pet industry practice. Today, we're going to learn how to manage client complaints in a effective way and an assertive way as well. And let's understand the mind of a pet parent. The pet parents treat their beloved companion like family. And when I'm talking about pet parents, I'm including myself too. I have a beautiful golden retriever, and here are some of our triggers when it comes to grooming or when it comes to taking our beloved companion to the vet. For example, miscommunication. When your staff doesn't understand the service expectation, there is going to be an upset customer behind this. And I'm talking from my own experience. As I mentioned, I have a golden retriever. I love her coat. And if for any single reason my dog's coat is shaved, I'm going to be very upset. So when I'm calling during the summer asking for some inches to be cut down, I'm not expecting you to go ahead and shave my dog like a mouse. So this is something that needs to be properly communicated, and your staff needs to be really trained in active listening, not only to hear what the customer wants, but also to acknowledge the service that they want and pass this information over to the expert, that is the groomer. This communication needs to be smooth. There has to be zero misunderstandings. If you get the expert on the line, that will be much better. But we know that your groomers are busy, and we know that your staff is most likely doing more than one task at once. But, anyways, we need to make sure that the communication is as smooth as possible. The second trigger is service results not matching the expectation. When I'm asking for a specific service and then my dog it's looking very different from what I expected, then I'm going to be upset. And it's because every single thing needs to be communicated in the right way so I can set up my own expectations about the service, and your practice can actually meet these expectations that I have already set. The third one, I know that you might have really good staff and fantastic groomers, and they can be expert and professional, but sometimes this needs to be combined with an excellent customer care. And sometimes when a groomer is real busy and they have the pet parent there and the pet parent asks just a simple question like, can you also trim my dog's nails? And the groomer already has another person waiting for him, then they might be rude or not even pay attention to the customer, like, I don't have any time, I can do it, whatever. So they can be perceived as rude or indifferent instead of actively suggest another ways to resolve this inquiry from the pet parent, instead of saying like, I have another dog at the moment, but listen, if you wait, I can trim your dog's nails after I'm done. Or I also have a partner that is not as busy as me, she can do it. Or if you have any free time tomorrow, you can also come tomorrow and I can trim your dog's nails. It's just as easy as that, instead of being rude or not even paying attention to the request. And the last one is lack of follow up. And even worse, ignoring your pet parents. When you don't check on the pet parent after the service, you don't even ask if they liked the haircut that they got, or even if you're a vet practice, if you don't follow up and see how the pet is doing, they are going to feel ignored. And now with these businesses having automated operations and having 24/7 interactions with the pet parents, the competition is strong. So you also need to be on top of this and you need to give constantly updates to the pet parents so they are aware and they are updated as much as possible. And when we are talking about mistakes that we make handling complaints, the biggest mistake is waiting too long to respond. And I know that you have different things to do, that you are managing the store, probably doing inventory, that you are training staff, that you are doing many things at once, that you don't have enough time to follow up after a negative review. I know that. But waiting too long to respond or not even responding at all is going to make your client go away. And there are different solutions that can help you as a business owner to have time, to have an immediate response. There are different automated processes that you can incorporate that can help you acknowledge and thank the customer for their honesty and get their feedback, because you need their feedback before it goes public and it turns into a review. This is the three-step method that we've created to handle customer complaints. The first one is to acknowledge, to hear the customer's story and to try to be in the customer's shoes, saying like, hey, we're sorry, I'm sorry this happened, I'm sorry that your expectations weren't met, and is there something that we can do for you? Like, try to be human and and practice active listening so you can get exactly the root of the issue. The second one is to empathize with that customer, understand what went wrong, and try to put yourself in that position. See how would you feel if your dog was treated that way, and try to seem like you are apologizing, but also not only apologizing, but offering solutions. The solutions that you can give, this is something that you can practice a little bit on, but you can say like, hey, next time I will assure you that we will get you the most experienced groomer. I'm sorry that this happened, and we can also give you a discount on your next visit. You have to resolve and try to stay on top of the issue. Once you resolve you can also propose to a client that the dog is sick and they are claiming that the dog is sick because of the service. You can propose to take the pet to the vet, and also that's another solution. And then, okay, then um they are going to feel like acknowledged and heard, and this is going to help you as a business owner to get a happy client that was initially not that satisfied, and you can give that resolution. But the most important thing of the three-step method is to follow up after you gave that resolution. And if it's a discount, you suggested to take the dog to the vet. If it's we are going to book you with another groomer. After this is done, you have to follow up and see how the client is feeling. This could be done after 1 or 2 days, so you can check exactly how the client is feeling, if they already took the dog to the vet, and what did the vet say, and try to seem like you really care, because that's what matters most in this industry, and is pet parents to feel heard and feel like your business truly cares about their dogs or their cats. Now, this is what you really need to avoid, and is first to get defensive, to say, no, it didn't happen that way. I'm sure I have the best groomers. They never did that. Never get defensive. You have to understand that the pet parent is feeling a certain way, that they didn't like the service, that they didn't meet the expectations. So instead of getting defensive, practice semantic listening so you can exactly get to the root of the issue. Second of all, is respond with a generic copy and paste. Like if they send you an email, you use ChatGPT the response without any research, without getting to the root of the issue. And that's really annoying nowadays. And third one is ignore or delay responses. With anything that with everything that you have to do on your day-to-day life or routine, then you might leave behind some things that are really important, that is taking care of your clients and help them feel heard. But there are different ways to get out this process automatized, and you have to really look into that. We are going to tell you how in a little bit, but this is really important for your business to stay on top of the responses and um, keep an immediate response time. And finally, shift blame to the pet, the groomer, or the pet parent. This is like getting defensive as well, like saying like my groomer is the best. I'm really sure that it's your pet because your pet is anxious, or like it's your fault because you gave your dog a lot of food and now he's sick, or this. You never have to turn the blame or shift the blame to the customer or even your groomer, because if you're shifting the blame to your groomer, that says a lot about your business. But because the pet parents are expecting you to have a staff full of professionals, and if you are actually shifting the blame to the groomer, it says a lot about your groomer's expertise, and this is not even the groomer's fault. Now, let me tell you how we can navigate negative feedback in a way that will help you stay on top of every single negative feedback before it goes online. What if I tell you that before a bad review is posted online, you can get auto messages sent via text from your pet parents getting their feedback without you having to be behind the screen? Is actually PawPulse doing it for you. You just have to register the client's phone, and PawPulse will handle that conversation for you. And if it's an escalation, you will only see the most urgent cases for you to follow up with the pet parents. But PawPulse does the hard work. If it's a good review, a good feedback, if it's a good feedback, I'm sorry, PawPulse is going to turn that good feedback into a positive review that will also help your business get a better image online and build a strong online reputation. And all of this in just seconds. And this will help you improve your response time and answer quickly to your pet parents. And also with an easy to use dashboard that you can intuitively you can in decipher. Just the way it's built is really awesome, and you can just navigate the feedback that is important. Let me share you some examples of how it works for you to see it. So this is the PawPulse dashboard. You just have to log in with the email and for sure your password. So here we're logging with the PawPulse. In the PawPulse, we put the password, and then we are here in the PawPulse dashboard. You can see the overall store rating that's based on the feedback that was received from your clients, and you can filter the feedbacks in different boxes. You can see that the low rating box are those feedbacks that gave you 1 or 2 stars. Those are the ones that you really need to stay on top of that. And also the high rating box, where you can see the ones that are really satisfied with the service. And for you to send a PawPulse text is just as easy as registering your client's number. Like here, we are putting the client's number, and then we go to the customer's name. We put the customer's name, then we put the pet name, that is Palooza, and then we select the service. In this case, it'll be grooming, and we select the date and time that the service was performed. In this case was April 8th at 11:12. So here we just click save, and automatically it will send a text to this customer for the customer to rate the service that he received. For example, here you can see the message that the Popples automatically sent to Jorge about Palooza. And now we just wait for the customer to get back to us and rate the service that he or she received. So let's wait for the response. Here we are waiting, and then we will see the feedback. For example, Jorge says, "It was awful. My dog is chafed." And the Popples is going to thank Jorge for the feedback, and also to ask is going to ask Jorge to share more details about what went wrong, so the manager has all this information handy before making that call. So here we can see his poor tail is hairless. He looks like a mouse. Thank you for sharing more details. We'll direct this to the store manager for further assistance. They will be in touch with you soon. So all these details are shared with the store manager, so they can proactively follow up on that, and they can um, offer the client a solution, and you're aware that this happened, so you can take action and provide a resolution. And this is how our dashboard is built. You saw a little bit, but I wanted to explain the dashboard in detail to you. So here we have the overall store rating. This is based on your store reviews. If they give you one star, then you're going to see that your overall store rating is 1. But then if you had very good reviews, 5-star reviews, then you're going to see 5 stars on the overall store rating. The total pending cases are those escalated cases that need your urgent attention. are those ones that the PawPulse filters for you to stay on top of them and for you to proactively follow up and see what went wrong. The total interactions, the total interactions are just um, the all the interactions that you receive for you to check if you want, because if it's something that went good, the purpose is going to take care of it, and you just have to keep track of the pending or escalated cases. The low rating feedback, this is also something that you need to look at, and this will be all the negative experiences that pet parents had at your store, and the mid rating or average ratings, things that need to be done better. And this is another box that you need to be constantly checking so you can actually turn this feedback into a 5-star rating. And this can be done by basically improving what the pet parent is saying. If they are complaining about the cleanliness, if they are complaining about the staff not being that friendly, then that those are things that can be fixed, that can be improved, and you should take into account. And the high rating, these are your happy customers that will also be encouraged to post a good review about the business. So your happy clients are going to be directed to Google so they can share their experiences with pictures, and this is really amazing. So now that we've covered every single point of view from the our end about customer complaints and how PawPulse can help you with it, you just need to take the next step towards success. When you combine a good service in store with a system like ours, you create a feedback loop that will help you grow, retain more customers, and reduce stress. Just let us be your partner and let us optimize your operations today. With us, you'll achieve excellence and stay one step ahead of your competition. And just for today, for all of our attendees, we have 100% free demo. Thank you very much for being here, for listening, and I hope that we can see you on next webinar where we will be discussing how active listening can be improved. Thank you, and I hope that you have a nice day. Bye.